everyone. Happy terrific Tuesday? Nope, Thursday. I'm behind. Been a wild week. I am Pam Savage, owner of Young at Heart Creations, and I am so happy that you're joining me today. We are going to be painting a pumpkin. I'm going to be painting a pumpkin. Wasn't planning on painting a pumpkin, but I had a special request, so I thought, well, why not do it live and get two things done at once, a live and an order. So hopefully she will like this one. If not, I will do another one. Hi, Dixie. Thanks for hopping on. Thank you so much for joining me in my craft room. And if you're watching replay, please be sure and put hashtag replay. I would appreciate that. And if you're a newbie, let me know that you're a newbie. We have gotten so many new followers, you guys. So tell all of our newbies hello and welcome. I'm up to 1,441, so we've gotten quite a few in the last couple of weeks, and I'm so excited, and I'm so appreciative of that. Okay, so before I get started, though, I haven't done this in a while, and it's just kind of been on my heart, and I wanted to just share something with you right quick. Hi, Charlie. Hello, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. But before we get started painting, I was reading in Ephesians, and the book of Ephesians in the Bible is written by Paul, and it was to the church in Ephesus. So I wanted you to, I wanted to read just a couple of scriptures that really stood out to me with everything we have going on in the world, and even in our little paint community, on some lives. I know some have had to deal with it, but just in our lives personally. It says, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and malice, be done with that. And be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. So it says, when we do these things, when we're bitter, when we're angry, when we clamor, when we speak evil of others, it says in verse 30 that it grieves the Holy Spirit. So, and I think that includes ourselves too. Sometimes the hardest person on us is ourselves. So just think about that. That again, that was Ephesians 4 verses actually 30 through 32. Be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be kind to someone. It's hard when somebody's not kind to you, but this, even in several other scriptures, says, love our enemies. And sometimes that is hard to do. And sometimes we're hardest on those that love us the most. So if you're going through a difficult time or just want to be kinder even. Open a door for somebody at the grocery store. Lift their package in their buggy for them. Take their shopping cart and put it up. I had someone in the parking lot do that to me last week or a couple of weeks ago. I was getting my groceries put away. It was hot and I was trying to hurry and get them in the car. And this lady walked a little ways over to me and said, "Could I go put that cart up for you? I'd be happy to do that." And I went, oh, it just made my day. It really changed my day. And I stopped and I took a breath and I went, okay, there are more important things than worrying about getting your groceries in the car and getting somewhere on time. So anyway, that's just a little bit from God's word. I absolutely love God's word. I don't know how anybody lives without it, but that's that for that. Let me put this down over here. And you've seen the post on, I didn't even bring everything over here, but what we're going to be doing for the Paint with Pam Day on August the 5th. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Dixie. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Lynn. Trying to say hi to everyone. Oh, I guess I better get you pulled up over here on my comments. I haven't even done that yet. As you know, we're going out of town tomorrow to Erica Wallace's paint social. So she's having a paint day, a paint social this Saturday. And so we're going to, in Louisiana. So we're heading out there early in the morning and cannot wait to see so many of my painting buddies. Let me see if I can get you pulled up here. Mr. Pam is going with me. And I was watching one of Erica's lives the other day, just this week. And think, okay, is so-and-so coming? Is so-and-so coming? Hey, you're coming. I heard you're coming. Didn't hear my name one time. I heard, hey, y'all, is Mr. Pam coming? Which is my husband, David. They all call him Mr. Pam. Is Mr. Pam coming? Does anybody know if Mr. Pam's coming? I'm going, what am I, chopped liver? So he's getting pretty popular on here. And he may not act like it, but trust me, he loves it. He loves it. So thanks, Crystal, for that name again for him. Okay, let me see if we're live on here. Everybody I have watched today live I've been watching some live videos today. They've been cutting in and out and freezing. So I think they're either having trouble with Facebook or I don't know, but it's everywhere in different places, not just here in my area. So if we freeze up a little bit, you may have to try to go out and come back in. Hi, Peggy. Hello. Okay, so we're going to be painting on this today. I had a special request, special colors, and so let's see what I can do with it. I haven't painted a pumpkin in a long time. But before I forget, the August the 5th, Paint with Pam Day, we do still have some seats open for that. That will be from 9:30 to 5-ish or so. We're going to paint 3 different projects. Go on my Facebook here and my page here, and you'll see the projects that we're going to paint. We're going to have swag bags. We're going to have door prizes. We're going to have so much fun with each other. It's just going to be such a great day. I had 2 more sign up yesterday. So, hi, Gina. Hello. So, if you're within a 2-hour radius of Sherman, Texas, which is just 60 miles north of Dallas, I would say it will be worth the drive. We will have a great day. I do have some even coming from Oklahoma. So, some are definitely driving a couple of hours to come. So to register, you'll just go to my website, youngatheartcreations.com, and click on events, and then click on Paint with Pam, and that will get you all registered. So you only have to the 20th to do that. So time is running out. If you know of a friend that would just love to just come spend a day, do that with you, bring them, get them to register as well. What a great mother-daughter day, a gift to someone that just needs a day out. Hi, Roberta. Thank you so much for hopping on. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm going to bring you down so that you can see what I'm doing. It's a pretty big piece. Now I want to show you already. I took one of these words. I know it's backwards for you. It says Hello Fall and has the pumpkin in it. This will be one of the door prizes. I absolutely love these. I have used these. They sit up on a shelf great on a mantle or anything. I'm going to be putting it on the pumpkin. But what I did, I took, the pumpkin comes orange. I got them at Hobby Lobby. The pumpkin comes orange. But, I'll lay this one down here out of the way. This was a special order, so we're going to be doing these colors. So, and I may add something to this, I'm not sure. But, so you can take this little pumpkin and paint it any color you want. Put anything you want on it. You could paint the whole thing a different color if you wanted to, but it already comes stained. And but I changed the color on this one so that it would match the order that she's got. That's the base color. So I've never really mixed that many colors together before, so it's going to be a little different. So let's get, it is a big piece, so I'll try to keep it in camera for you as much as possible. Holler at me if I don't, and y'all are good about that. You don't really holler at me, you just let me know that I'm not in camera. Okay, all right, let's get started. I'm going to use my great base coat paint brush. Now this was, I think these were from Hobby Lobby as well, but it was just plain on the back, just the plain wood, and I went ahead and base coated a base coat of white on it. And I'm going to stand up for this so I can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to start with 3 colors. I'm going to have a little bit of buttermilk, and again, it's white. And I took a piece of just wax paper like you'd use in your kitchen and smoothed it out a little bit. Because you know when you put that first base coat of paint on there, it always raises the wood and gets it kind of rough. So I did that to make it not quite so rough. Okay, so let's get a little bit of buttermilk. You could also use white or light buttermilk. And let's get some Blue Spa. This one's almost empty, so I'm trying to use it up. This is all Deco Art. Okay, that one's just about gone. We'll set it over here and let it sit upside down a while. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more in here. So this is Blue Spa, one of my favorite colors. And we may need some more. We'll see. And then I'm also going to use a Laguna. A little bit darker than that Blue Spa. Or Spa Blue. Yeah, Spa Blue. Okay, so a little bit different than I normally do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my brush damp and then just blot it off. I always have a wet cloth over here that I blot my brushes off on. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put just a little bit of water down. Very, very little water down on this. Just to kind of moisten it up a little bit. Just so my paint will flow a little easier. Not much at all. Okay, and so my base coat is going to be the Spa Blue. Okay, but I'm also going to put some of this buttermilk on at the same time. And we're just going to kind of work it in, and we're going to get our natural highlights. Now, I'm probably going to get it all over this tablecloth, but that's all right. So I'm going to go back into the Spa Blue and just get some streaks of both colors in there. I don't want to get up on my stem because we're going to use a brown on that. So I am dipping in the Spa Blue and then just dipping the corner into that buttermilk. Up and down. I'm going to add a little more water. Oh, that is such a pretty color. I just love it. So I'm kind of straight up and down in the middle. Let me get where that stem stops. Straight up and down in the middle. And then we'll curve back to the right on this other side. Okay, I'm going to take this bracelet off. It's driving me crazy. And it might take 2 coats, it may not. With this white underneath it, it may do just fine. But we do want to dry it just to make sure that it covered. All right, you could also do the light buttermilk, would be pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna turn my brush over with the highlight on this side. And then we can come back and tweak it. And I just keep dipping, dipping, dipping. And then we're going to come back and add some of that dark blue. Okay, now I'm just kind of curving around with those highlights. And I can see where it's drying some that probably going to need to do a little bit of a second coat. Let me get down here to the bottom. Okay, let me hold it up. I have a hard time seeing with the ring light on. So let me see what kind of coverage we're getting. Okay, I'm going to dry it, and then we're going to go over with a light second coat, and then we'll put our dark blue on. Hi, Karen. Hi, Gail. If you're just hopping on, be sure and go back and watch the replay. Watch the very first.
a little bit of scripture reading, but then also telling you about the Paint with Pam Day on August the 5th. Time is running out. Next week will be the 20th. Next week will be the last day to register for that. And again, we had 2 more registered yesterday, so we're up to, I think 11. So I need at least 5 more to sign up for the class to make. We have so much fun when we get together like that and paint, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I hope it makes swag bags, door prizes, just some good old girl time. Okay, let's put a little bit more of the spa blue out. Okay, I got my brush a little wet. And again, I'm going to dip back into that spa blue and that buttermilk all at the same time. Just want to make sure I don't have any of the undercoat of the white coming through. That's going to tone it down a lot too when we put this other color on it. This just kind of puts in a natural highlight. Okay, so flipped my brush over. Getting those edges good and covered. Okay, let me hold it up, see what it looks like. Oops, I see a little spot there. We're going to have some things on the bottom of it too, so that's going to cover up some of the bottom. All right, I'm going to hold it back up to you so I can see without that ring light if we need to cover somewhere else. Okay, I think we are pretty good. It's hard to know where to stop. Okay, now we're going to go in with the Spa Blue and the Laguna. Now the Laguna I'm going to just do to separate the sections. So I'm loading with that Spa Blue and then just dipping a little bit into the Laguna. Just to kind of give us a little bit of where the sections would be, a little bit of shading. Okay, I'm going to dampen my brush a little bit more. Okay, so we've got one there. And let's put one kind of straight up here. kind of a hint of a section there. Okay, now I want to, here's what we've got. I want to swerve out that direction. Okay, so I'm getting it on there, but then I'm smoothing it out. Get a little more of that the spa blue out of it. I don't want it real harsh, real loud. Okay, see some spots down there that are showing up. And this is just kind of a loose painting, not my typical, everything's just gotta be so-so. Trying to get away from that a little bit. But it is my favorite. Okay, let's get some here on the outside. Okay, let's hold it up and see what we got. I think I want to straighten this line up just a little bit. Got it a little curvy. Okay, I'm going to wash that out a little bit and then go back in. I had gotten some of that darker blue in a spot that I didn't want. Okay, working that paint in. Just toning that one down a little bit. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I think we're looking pretty okay. And a little bit more of that dark down here. Okay, now I'm just streaking a little more of that dark almost a dry brush. I'm loading it on, but then I'm also getting most of it off. Okay, leave it alone. Okay, so there's our just kind of a marbledy look. I love it. I think it goes really well with our little pumpkin here, our Hello Fall. Okay, now let's work on the stem a little bit, and I'm going to use traditional burnt umber, and I'm going to kind of do a wash by adding some water to it. It's not going to take much because it's not much of a space there. So let me get some water. Okay, so I just added some water to it, and I'm just going to mix that water in to get it kind of an inky consistency. And let me grab a baby wipe. Where did I put my baby wipes? Oh, right in front of me. Right in front of me. Okay, so we've got an ink consistency. Just gonna rub it on. See how watery it is? Putting it on very thin because I want it to look like a stained, like real wood, just kind of a stained look. You can also do a green stem. You can do all colors. Brown with the green mixed in. Okay, let's clean this up here. Just look, now this is still wet, so I got to be careful. And we'll have some leaves there too that we'll cover some of that up. Get all of it off of me. Okay, and I really don't think we even need to wipe any off. So there's your stain look, just watered down burnt umber. Now I am going to go just a little bit darker with dark burnt umber, and this one is Ceramcoat. And let's just kind of shade a little bit around that. It won't take much. Grab my angle brush. I painted all night last night, y'all, so I have brushes everywhere, and I'm trying to load my brushes up to take to Erica's paint day that we're having Saturday. So let's just do, okay, I think I've already loaded my favorite angle one up. We'll just go ahead and we'll just do this one that we were doing that base coating with. So I'm gonna get a little bit of that dark burnt umber on there, and I'm gonna just go around the edge of this. stem that we just did. Just float a little of that along there. Almost looks black, probably will to you on camera, but it is brown. And then just right there where it meets. And I'm just getting some on the very tip of the brush. Pretty, pretty. Okay, let me show it to you upside down because I can get it under the camera better. Okay, so she also wanted some flowers on it. Some sunflowers. Do y'all think I can do a sunflower? Or two or three? Okay, so let's decide where we want our sunflowers. So I think I want one right here in the middle. And then we'll put some to break this blue up. We'll also put some little bitty tiny sunflowers or something on it so that it's not just blending in with this blue. We could also do this in the darker blue. We'll see. We'll see what we end up with. Okay, so that's about where that's going to be. Okay, so let's put one. I'm using chalk. And let's put one right here. Okay, and we'll put one down lower here. And lower here. Okay, I think I want them even lower. So the beauty of chalk. Just going to take one of my brushes and brush it off. I'm going to bring this one up a little bit. Now I can take a wet rag and get it completely off, but we're going to be painting over it, so it doesn't matter. I did not have a pattern for this, so I'm just kind of winging it and going with the flow. Oh, you have some of these pumpkins. There's so many different ways. Hi, Kathy. Thank you, Dixie. Thank you, Karen. Miss Peggy, there's so many different ways we can paint them. Sometimes I have to turn my brain off. Hi, Heather. Thanks, ladies, for hopping on. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to bring it up just a little bit higher, this middle one here. And we'll bring these two down a little lower. Okay, so that's just to kind of give us a rough estimate of where we want them. Okay, so I'll use those as my centers. Let's grab I always have my brushes picked out before I start a live, and today I had so much going on, I did not do it. Probably be using that one. Let's get a all right, let's try this one first. and see what we get. I'm just going to go with a round. This is Royal Langnickel number 9. And I'm going to go with cadmium yellow. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way so that I don't get paint all over it. Oh, you know what we need to do first? Anytime I'm using yellow, I like to go in with white first. Okay, so let me dry that and let's go over them with white real quick. Okay, y'all, to show you how crazy my brain is today, trying to get ready for this trip. We've got Jack coming Sunday. We'll have him for a week. So my mind is going in 15 different directions. Hopefully you didn't see that, but I had the hair dryer, or the dryer, and I was drying the paint on my plate. I don't need to be driving. Don't put me behind the wheel today. All right, let's go over it with white first. Right down into that circle. Okay, there's 1. So that's 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Maybe 3:05. Got it down a little too far. There we go. Okay, and then we've got 6 o'clock. We're going to go over the circle with black and brown, so it's okay if we get it there. And then we want to do our 9 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going out to the side, and then just bringing it in. Pressing down and lifting up. Pretty much little, almost football shapes on one end. Okay, now let's do the same thing in between. So you've got your 4 there. Now you could leave it just like that. I mean, as far as how many petals you're going to put in. But I like to go in and put some in between. And I'm just pressing down and pulling up. Just kind of smoothing out that ridge. And same thing over here. Really press down and lift up. You know, little Jack's parents are over in Scotland, and they've been sending us the most beautiful pictures of all the castles and the greens on the golf courses. They are just having a great time. So we go to Louisiana tomorrow for Erica Wallace's live event or social. She's not calling it an event. It's more of just a paint social. And then we get in. We'll probably get in around midnight Saturday night. And after church Sunday evening, we go pick up Jack. And then we'll have him till the next Saturday. So I need to eat lots of Wheaties. Be sure I take my vitamins. Because that little guy is on the move. He's not walking yet. Not yet. He's so close. And he's thinking about it so hard. Okay, so here's what we've got. Just base coated in that white. Then we're going to go over it in the yellow. All right, so if I can get you closer. Okay, so this one will be 6 o'clock, and it's just going to go right off of the piece there. And we'll do, and then pull up. Okay, same thing over here. Don't care what they look like in that center because we're going to have them all covered up anyway. Okay, so I'm going to make these just a little bit fatter. So the harder you press down, the wider your stroke's going to be. Okay, and there's our second one. And we've got our centerpiece right there. Our little center circle. My hands already. I got paint all over me. Nope, didn't do that one the same way. So we've got 6. I get to paint and just go for it. Three o'clock. And they don't have to be exact. It's just to kind of give you a rough idea of where you want your petals to be. Okay, let's do this one a little bigger. Okay, I think we need one more petal right there. Okay, let's dry those and then we can go in with our yellow. I think I need to go a little larger on this petal over here after I'm looking at it. Okay, I'm just going in with a quick little second coat just to kind of cover up some of that blue. And I don't care if a little bit of the blue comes through on these flowers. It'll just give it a little character. Now I will say these pieces from Hobby Lobby, sometimes they do bow up a little bit once you put some wet paint on them. The way I take care of that is after it's completely dry, I will squirt a little bit of water on the back of it and then set something heavy on it overnight. And that usually fixes it right away. Okay, second coat on these. Still hot here in Texas. Supposed to be over 100 today. I have not been outside at all today. So it can get as hot as it wants to because I'm not getting out in it. Now the second coat I'm doing much lighter. And I know this is an extra step, but it just makes the yellow look so much prettier. Okay, one more quick little dry and then let's get our yellow on. I know, it is hot. It's the humidity. It's hot there too, Peggy. Ugh. I almost painted my little pumpkin ginger on one of my pumpkins. Oh, that would have been cute. That little pumpkin ginger was adorable. Okay, dry enough. Okay, now let's go in with our cadmium yellow. And I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to be taking a little bit of a break from painting the hats. I have painted so many hats, so many hats. Now see how much prettier that yellow is. So much brighter. And the yellow looks really pretty on this teal. Or spa blue. My not oldest, but next to oldest son, my second son, he went with my daughter, drove with her to help her pull a trailer all the way to California. They made it just fine. He will be back, he'll be back in Texas today. And they have really got a lot done while they were up there. So he got to spend his birthday. His birthday was yesterday. And he got to spend it in California. They took him to Ruby's Diner that's out over on the pier out over the ocean. So I thought, well, that was a very special birthday treat because he had helped his sister quite a bit. So she treated him to rubies. All right, I went a little bit out there, and I'll clean that up with some of the blue. Okay. Now the yellow, I think we'll do some tiny little flowers or dots or something on this one to break it up. But isn't that going to be so cute? Of course, we'll have some greenery in my little things that, you know, I think I'm done. Nope, can't quit. Got to add a little bit more. This one will be going, she'll be picking it up if she likes this one. She may want something different. But, in Florida. You could add a little bit of orange, a little bit of green, whatever color you wanted to show up in your petals. At the same time you're doing the yellow, just like we did the pumpkin itself. I got my suitcase out and started packing. It's just for overnight. But I like to have everything packed, ready to go the night before. And loaded up at least an hour early. But it's so hot now that, you know, you don't want your makeup out in the car until you're ready to go. I mean, everything's going to melt. You could do this with a filbert brush. You could even do it with a flat, but I just find it a little easier with the round. Just putting a little bit of a second coat on this small one over here. Okay, I'm going to dry this one because I know I'm going to put my hand in it if I don't. Oh, I saw that poinsettia, Peggy. It was beautiful. Yes, Dixie, I have been painting hats in my sleep. We have been getting a lot of storms here. The rain was really nice. We did need it. We had a lot of wind. The last storm, we got a lot of hail. I don't like those kind. And y'all saw that land spout that I spotted when my husband and I were out riding around. I mean, it is basically a type of a tornado. They said the winds can get up to, it can get up to 100 miles an hour. And, you know, it could do some damage. It's nothing like an you know, F2 or 3 tornado, but we were just out riding around and we spotted that. And when it was first forming, I said, look at that in those clouds. There were no storms around or anything. I said, it looks like a tornado. It's the perfect shape of a tornado. And then we didn't think anything about it. We were kind of riding around a little bit more. And I saw it again. I said, look at that. It's coming down out of the clouds. And you could see the dust coming up from the ground. And we both looked at each other because it wasn't storming. You know, what is that? And by the time we got to where, in a good clearing where I could get a good picture of it, it had already gone up a little bit into the clouds, but it was still touching because you could see the all of the debris coming up underneath it. And then that's the photo that you see here on my page. And it made Grayson County Weather Alert. They contacted me and said, could we please use your photo? That's awesome. And I said, yes, if you'll mention my business, Young at Heart Creations. And so they did. I appreciated them asking. Anyway, so I got couple of followers from that. Now I have given these flowers a little bit of texture with this brush and the way I'm doing it. It's not just your flat paint on. They do have some texture to them. But I like that. It's just different. Okay, so I'm just throwing on a little more of that paint. And we need to go a little more on this one. Oh, Margaret painted a bag with a sunflower. Yay! I just got the one that we did last time, that big one that we did live. I just got a price tag put on it. It's going to the to Florida. I'm just going to have a couple of tables, mainly just the hats and a couple of bags. And the the blue jean jacket is going. Okay, I think we're good on the petals. Let's do just a little bit of let's go with antique gold, and we'll do a little bit of the flower petals, petal wrinkles. That's my official word for them. I don't know of an official word for them, but that's my official word. And let's switch to a 10-0 liner brush. And let's see if I want to do, yeah, I think we'll do that color. Okay, I'm gonna wait till I do my centers in the black to do that. Let's go ahead and get some shading on our petals. So I'm going to switch to a small angle brush. I'm going to get the petals a little wet with some clean water. And I'm just going to dip into that antique gold and decide which ones are over the others. Okay, so we're going to start with this one up here. So that one will be over. This one. So that's going to put this petal behind. So this one will be over that one. So I need to go over this one. So I do every other one first to put the petal. See how that put it behind? This is a big pumpkin. Okay, so skip one. Before I got ready to go live today, I had a whole cup of paint water sitting here and knocked it over. It went all over everything. Luckily, I hadn't done anything but that buttermilk, or the white, not the buttermilk, when I was base coating this, and it was really thin paint water. So I mean, it didn't ruin the carpet or anything, but it was a mess to clean up. Okay, so skip this one. Okay, so you've got your petals that are in the forefront. Come out a little further on that one. And now these will be behind. So you'll just start where they meet right here and just do the tips of these. You could also do them in a brown, I mean a little bit darker than this, but with this pale blue, I mean this spa blue, I don't want to get too dark. And I do want to lighten these petals a little bit with some, just dry brushing a little of the white in the centers before we do our petal wrinkles. Okay, sorry to be turning it on you so much, but I have to have it turned so it fits my hand when it's something this big, so the direction is comfortable. could also paint the back petals like we did on the mason jar that we did a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago. The back petals, you could paint this dark, the whole petal that color. I always, after the live, go back and clean them up a little bit, because during the live with this light, the ring light, and then I've got another light over here, sometimes it is hard to see what I'm doing. And to me at this stage, it still looks pretty rough. And that's when I tell myself, trust the process. By the time you get all the little details on it, it looks very nice. Okay, let's do these little ones over here. Just getting them wet. Now this is just a cheap brush from Dollar General that I'm using, this angle brush. All of the wood's coming off of it. The paint's coming off of the wood handle. Okay, so let me see what the top one would be. I'm just dipping the very tip of the toe, the long part. Okay, so I'm skipping every other petal. Okay, and I got that just a little darker than I want, so I've just put a little more water on my brush. And just working it out. Margaret, the large bag that I did, I mean, it's a big one. It's 28, and then the smaller ones, I think I have 15 on them. $15 or $20, but I think I have 15 on them. Kind of a rule of thumb. You can't always use this exactly, but 3 times what you paid for it, and then add some for your time. Which, if we really charged for the time we spend on something, we would never charge enough. Okay, so that's our overlapping ones. Let's go back in and do these back ones. I'm gonna move a little bit faster, sorry, a little bit faster with it since you've seen me do it now. And then we'll get the highlights in on them and our centers. Got to do our petal wrinkles here in a minute. I'm just starting where those petals meet and just doing the tips on these back ones. And this is a step that you can totally skip. I just think it adds just that extra little something to them when you do your shading and your highlighting. Brush handle pieces coming off in there. Okay, let's do our next one. Okay, so this one, the way the paint ridge is already overlaying these two, so I'm going to start with it as being my overlay. And then this one will overlay. Just doing one side of each of these that are going to go over the top of another petal, and then I'll come back in and so I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. I had quite a bit of water on that, so when I come back around, it'll be dry enough that it won't wipe it off when I do the other side. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's just the tip. And then we'll get our little white highlights in the center of them, and that'll help them to pop. Okay, we need to do this one here. Turn it around. Yep. Last time we went to Louisiana for one of Erica's paint days, we went out to eat, and the menu, I don't know why, I wasn't expecting it. We were in Louisiana, but the menu was alligator. It had alligator on the menu, and I thought, no way. And some of them got it. I said it tastes kind of like chicken. This girl did not get any alligator. All right, let's dry these and let's put some yes, that's where I got mine, was at Hobby Lobby. Okay, let me find my little thing that I like to do my little highlighting with. I think I've already put it in my Erica bag. There it is. Okay, I like these little makeup brushes from Dollar Tree to do my highlighting with. Okay, so I've still got some white here. So I'm going to put it on, offload it. I'm going to get it down in those brushes, the bristles. Then I'm going to get it off on my hand so I can see about how much is in it. And then I'm just going to go down the centers of these flowers. Just to kind of brighten them up a little bit. So I'm just dry brushing. This brush is not wet, but I'm just dipping it in my paint that we had left over and then getting it off on my hand. And you want to be careful and not scrape your paint off. Okay, so the difference in the highlighted one and no highlight. It really adds to them. I don't put quite so much down towards the bottom, mainly from the tips. Down to about the center. About halfway down the petal. Now when we put our black centers in them, oops, I didn't get enough off on that one. Then I'll have greenery and everything here on it. Zhuzh it up a little bit. Okay, let's get our let's do our centers, and then we can do our little I'm going to get all that off my hand, so I'm not rubbing it on everything. Okay, and let's go ahead and do our centers. And we're going to do those in black. And I'm just going to use this little angle brush that I was using. How quickly that changes them. I've been using this brush a lot on the hats because it is a little bit stiff. And has worked well on that fabric. Okay, let's dry that and put a second coat on it. And then do our wrinkles. Alligator on a stick. Ugh. I just cannot even imagine. But everybody that, you know, that eats it and lives in that area. Well, I couldn't eat a crawdad either. I mean, I know they have the crawdad things down in Louisiana, and no, not this girl. I might eat some alligator before I would a crawdad. Take out a little a little part over here where I had too much water in it. Okay. Okay, so while that antique gold is still wet, let's go in and do our little wrinkles. And then we'll doctor up our centers. You could do your wrinkles in the dark brown. You could do them in, you could even do them in white. Just your preference. My dad used to, when he was alive, he used to go alligator hunting in Louisiana in a little bitty, tiny little bass boat thing. When those, you know, the alligators could tip it over so easy. My daughter's been talking about she can't wait to try to surf. Being out in California now, she's getting a surfboard and she wants to learn how to surf. I said, okay, just don't tell me the days you're going surfing, just tell me when you're done. I don't mind the water. I am a fish when it comes to the water. I love, love, love to swim. It's what's in the water. Mr. Pam wants me to go on a cruise so bad. And I just, I can't do it. Although he did get me on a sailboat because his boss had us come out to California. And against my will, because I didn't want to be the boring wife, I did go out on a sailboat, but it was my understanding that we were going to stay right at the shore. That didn't happen. We were out so far. The dolphins were swimming with us. And I just, no. Never forget it. I was so happy to get back to land. Okay, let's put some of the, let's do some of the brown. Got 2 or 3 plates going on here. Okay, there's our brown. Let's do that at the bottom. Get my little scruffy brush here. Okay, so I've got just a little old scruffy brush that does not have an edge anymore. I've used it just to pounce. Let's get some of that brown in here. I don't want the dark brown. I want, we'll use espresso. That'll be dark enough. And it doesn't take much. So I'm just going to go kind of the left and bottom half. It's as far as that will go up on my table because of the stem of this. So I'm just going to get loaded on and then pounce some of it off. And then just pounce around the bottom. Okay, we're going to dry that. And I'm going to go in with some of that buttercream or buttermilk. Same brush. And I'm just going to dip in some of the buttermilk. Okay. And then I'm going to go back over it with just a smaller amount of that brown. And then with the white and my liner brush, let's give it a little highlight here at the top. Oops, let's start down here. We had our next door neighbor who has a beautiful garden bring us some really pretty okra and cantaloupe yesterday, and so we are going to have a feast tonight. Okay, I'm going to take the tip of that liner brush and just a few little dots of the white at the bottom of those flowers where we just pounced some of that brown in buttermilk. I keep wanting to say buttercream. Okay, and now we're going to highlight the tips of each petal, just with a very light touch. Tiny little details, but when it all comes together, they make such a difference. Oh, Miss Peggy, I would know I was on a ship. I may not feel it, but my brain knows I'm on a ship, and I know there's sharks under me. I know there's whale under me. I don't know. He may talk me into it someday, but right now, I just don't see it happening. Your white tends to fade a little bit and lose its brightness, so sometimes I go over it with a second coat. Now that is so subtle on the camera, you're probably not going to be able to see it. Maybe. Okay, there's our center one. Okay, no highlights on the tips on that one. Highlights on those tips. I think it's going to be really pretty by the time we get this on and the leaves and things that we're going to do up here. Probably won't have time to do all that on this live, but just wanted to go ahead and get it started and show you what I kind of have in mind. Okay, so I'll speed up on these other petals since you've already seen the other ones. Kyle and Emily that are in Scotland right now, I mean, they took last month took a trip that had been planned for a long time, and COVID put a damper on it and stopped it. But they, you know, it had already been taken care of, so they didn't want to miss it. So they went to Alaska last month, and they're in Scotland this month. So they have done a lot of traveling. And they have a photography business. So we've been getting some awesome photos. When they got off of the plane, they were met with a Scottish man in a kilt and playing the bagpipes. We keep trying to get our son to send us a picture of him in a kilt, but we have not gotten one yet. And I highly doubt we will. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we got to do some greenery. Let's do I think I will for sure do some little flowers on that one too. Let me see if our yellow is still good. I hate to waste paint. Let's see if it's still wet enough to do some little petals on that. Okay, so let's set that aside for just a second. And let's do some little flowers. We'll just do a few on here. And I'm just using a small round brush. These are going to be very whimsical, not a lot of detail on them. Okay, let's try those. Put some yellow and some black on them. We'll be done with those. We may do some greenery. I may do some greenery. A lot of this I will probably end up having to do off camera. But the colors are so pretty. I'm loving the spa blue with that buttermilk. Okay, now with the yellow, the cadmium yellow. Just to kind of tie it in with our big pumpkin. Anybody else painting fall, or have you just moved on to Christmas to try to get ahead of your Christmas orders? Christmas shows? I've got 2 shows this fall. That I need to get ready for. Christmas in July on the 22nd. Oh, I have not gotten to paint any Christmas yet. I think Christmas is, I don't know, it's a toss. I don't know, I like them all. I love the fall colors, but I don't do a fall show. So I don't sell a lot of fall. I just do Christmas as far as craft shows go. But I do love painting the fall colors. But Christmas is my favorite. I love all the traditional reds and greens. And for some people, I hear that pink is going to be the Christmas color this year. So I would think like the candies and things like that with the pinks. Okay, let's get a little bit of black center. Okay, so it ties in now. Nothing fancy. And then we'll do probably some greenery up here. But I'm going to set this aside. But it does break it up some. Hello, fall. All right, we'll let those be drying. I may end up adding a few more on it. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do some greenery down here. Let's do... Let's do a couple of leaves. Okay, so I think I'm going to do, let's do some stems first. We'll do some stems and some grass. Okay, so we'll do one that way, one that way. All right, I think I got it. Okay, so I'm going to Hauser medium green. And we're going to go stems coming in. Okay, and then we'll do a stem. This one is kind of right in the middle here, but I'm thinking I'm going to come more to the side here. Okay, so just simple little stems. And then let's do some leaves. just going to use a round. Gonna just put some little leaves coming directly from the stem, just simple little leaves. And we'll fill it in with that Hauser medium. Let's put one on both sides of this one. Just to kind of balance it out, and then we'll do some shading and highlighting on them. Okay, and then on this one, let's make it a little bigger. Okay, let's draw those. Do a second coat. And then we'll do some shading and highlighting on them. Bring them to life a little bit. And I just went right over the tip of that petal and put that petal behind the leaf. Okay, now let's do some shading and highlighting. See a little spot here. Okay, let me put a little bit more on here. Couldn't see it with that light. Okay, that should do it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the dark Hauser. And we'll do some shading. And then we'll do some highlighting. So on the bottom of each leaf, knocking all my paints over, we'll do the dark Hauser. And then on the top, we'll do a little bit lighter color. Okay, so just doing some shading. Okay, let's see if you can see that. That one's shaded, those are not. So a lot of times I will use the light Hauser for my shade, for my highlighting. But lately I've been using the lime green. Not Deco Art, different brands, but I've been using the lime green to give it even a little bit heavier highlight. And remember, your paint's always going to dry darker. So give it a minute before you add any more. I'm just getting it on the tip of that angle brush and just kind of feathering it out. Okay, I'm going to cover this one up a little bit more with the base coat color, that medium. Okay, and then we're going to do the bottom of it. So I'm just floating it down there at the bottom and then just walking it out with a little bit more. I don't want a real harsh line, so I'm just kind of patting it on there. Dry it, and I'm going to add just a little bit more. Got a little bit out there. I'm trying to do it upside down. I'll fix it with some of the blue. Okay, so that's our dark. Now let's go in with some lime green. And this one is Anita's Lime, very bright. So here are the, I knocked my medium green off a minute ago. It's over there in the floor. No, here it is. That was a different color. Okay, so here's the color combination. Base coat, shading, and then highlighting. Okay, so let's go in with some of the lime. And I'm just working it in as well. So see if you can see that. Thank you, Sheila. Got a lot to go on it, but it's getting there. Okay, ladies, my screen is frozen up on my iPad. Am I still live? I make you laugh, Peggy. Okay, just let me know if you can see what's going on because my screen has frozen up on the iPad. Okay, thank you, Dixie. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Yay, thank you. Okay. I know everybody has been having trouble with it today. Okay, so there's the highlight and the shade. Okay, and we need to put a little bit on the other center one. Just put a little bit of moisture on there. Okay, I'm going to get some of that moisture off now and then just work it in. Okay, let's do some grass. Sheila requested. Sheila that's on here. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Sheila is the one that requested this. So hopefully it will turn out the way she's hoping it would. Let's do some grass. And let me see which brush I want to use. Okay, and I'm going to start with that dark Hauser. Get my brush just right here. And we're just going to start going every direction. I go a little bit thicker with less of the blue showing through with the green, the dark green for my base. And then we'll come back with the highlight colors. So this is just a small round. You can do it with any size round depending on how big you want your grass blades to be, how fat. So down at the bottom here, I get it pretty thick. I just kind of cover up the edge. And I've added a little bit of water to the paint just to get it to flow a little better. Anytime I'm using a liner brush or a small round, I like to water the paint down a little bit. So I'm just going right, left, straight up. Okay, and I'm going to stop in between the two flowers. I'm not going to go out here to this side because it's kind of getting up into the sky. Fill in down at the bottom here. And again, the harder you press, the fatter your blades are going to be. I'm not pressing much at all. And then we'll come back with a little bit of that lime green. And then we'll put some flowers in the grass. Every time I say the word grass, I think of my grandson, my first grandson, when he's nearly 20 now. But he could not say grasshopper. Every time. He was, he wasn't even 2. But it was, instead of grasshopper, it was, there's a hopper grass. Hopper grass. That was so much harder to say than grasshopper, but every time he would get so excited. There's a hopper grass, a hopper grass. Oh, the memories they give you. Okay, coming right in front of that petal. Gonna do the same one over here. So the grass is growing up kind of in front of that flower. Okay, so there's our first coat. Our first color. Now let's go in with some of that, let's go in with some of the, I do want to go just a little bit further on this. I don't want to go up here, but I do want to go up one more little section over here in between the petals of both flowers. Okay, now let's go in with that lime green. And I'm going to switch to my smaller liner brush, my little bitty one, and go in with some of that lime. And remember, the lime is just highlighting, so we don't want it covering up what we just did. So I'm just going here, there, nothing like what we just did with that dark green. Just to give a hint of new grass coming in. Okay, and I think that's plenty of that color. let's come in with some white. On these leaves. Just a little bit of a highlight. I think I got the green instead of the white on that one. Okay, what you think? So I can get it up there for you. Okay, now let's do some flowers, and we're going to do the Laguna yellow and white flowers. So let's do the Laguna first. And I'm going to use my stylus. People texting me. And we're just going to do some dots. In the flowers to represent, in the grass to represent flowers. And just some dots. Just randomly. And then we're going to come back with some yellow ones. And a few white ones to make these colors pop. Okay, now let's do a little bit of the yellow. And we'll do a little bit of white. Watching from Georgia. Well, welcome, Stephanie. Thank you. Hi, Roxy. Great, Sheila. Oh, I'm so glad. And I will do there'll be some cleanup on it that I'll want to do. Okay, now let's put a few little yellow ones here and there. I usually like to put some red flowers in it, but with this color scheme that we've got going on, I don't think the red would look too great. I've had so many of you asking for hats. I'm not going to be selling the hats until after the event in September. I will paint like crazy to try to get more done. If if everything sells there that I take. And I will post them on here for sale. But right now, it's all I can do to get ready for the ones that are already purchasing them at the event in Florida in September. So I'm painting like crazy, but trying to get my other orders done as well. Okay, so here's what we've got. Let me dry this just a little bit so that those dots don't go everywhere when I hold it up. And then I'll show you without the white and then with the white dots. Let's let those dry just a second while my paint over here is still wet. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of that grass on this little guy. So we need to do stems. Okay, then we can do some grass. Whoops, not wet enough. We won't get quite as detailed on this one because it is so little. I'm just using that smallest liner brush that I had. That 10-0. Okay, and then let's put a little bit of that lime. And we'll put some, I'll get my smaller little stylus, and we will put some flowers in it. Kyle and Emily, I was asking them the time difference over there, and they are 7 hours ahead of us here in Texas. So right now in Texas, it is 15 till 6. Ooh, I've been on here a while. So over there, it is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning over there. Okay, we need a few little yellow. So it's going to take them a while to get used to the time change when they get back. So we're going to keep little man, Jack, an extra day or two just to kind of let them recoup. Okay, so there's our little one. Nothing really super detailed on it, but it does tie it in. I know I can't get that back far enough yet. Okay, now let's put some white in our grass down here, some white flowers. That white just makes the other flowers pop. So here's what we have so far. Now let's add some white. So I'm going back to my large stylus, and we're just going to dot here and there, all at different heights. I don't want them all like they're in a row. So I'm going up with some, down with some. Okay, and I think that is all we need on that. Let me dry them, then I'll show you the difference with those white ones in there. Okay, see how those white ones just made the other ones just show up so much better. Okay, let me bring you up. Text, not really 100, but close. Close to it. Okay, let's hold this up, what we've got done so far. And then I will have to finish the rest of it off camera because I've got to go get packed and supper ready. But I think it's going to be so pretty. I will have some of the little hanging down things with the little white dots, and you know me, it's going to have more things on it. Somebody's calling me on the iPad. Okay, I'm declining. Somebody's wanting to FaceTime with me. Okay, so here's what we'll have. Of course, I'll have some stuff up here, some greenery and stuff up here, but here's what we've got so far. Hello, fall. Isn't that going to be so cute? I think I just love these colors. Just love them. And I'll have some greenery up here too. Hi, Monica. Thank you. Hi, Linda. Y'all be sure and go back and watch the replay. Be sure and put hashtag replay with some information on the Paint with Pam Day on August the 5th. Next week's the last week to sign up. Last week, but and read a couple of scriptures that I think help be encouraging for the day. Okay, so that's a big one. It's 16 inches this way, and then 17 inches with the stem, I think is what it said on the back of it. But okay, so I'm working on it for you, Sheila. I'll get it there.
All right, ladies, I better get off of here and go get packed and get my paint brushes put away in pack. I pack them in a little, let me show you what I've got right quick. I love, love, love this. I got it at Hobby Lobby, I think. But I take it with me every time I go to a paint party, paint event for myself. I take it with me. It holds several brushes. Some of them I can get, it's got the ribbed here, but then behind it, it's got another compartment that you can put even something else. So I've got a ruler, my pencils, all of my favorite brushes go in it, and it zips up and travels with me wherever I go. So I love that. And then I have a roller case that I carry that everything goes in it. It's for art supplies and it's on rollers, and I love it. So I take it with me everywhere, and I'm comfortable with my own brushes, and of course they'll have brushes too that we use, but I like to take my Old Faithfuls with me. So that's where we will be this weekend. We will be at Erica Wallace's Paint Social, and we always have so much fun when we get together. And so please, please, please. Hi, thank you, Sheila. Oh, good. Okay, I will do the vining on it. I will get it done. Probably will be, don't know about next week because Jack will be here, but I will have it done, and I will send you a picture of it before I pack it up to bring it. But yes, this is going to Miss Sheila Smith. And I know, Kathy, I can't wait to see you. So August the 5th is the Paint with Pam Day. I need 5 more people to make it happen. Look at all this paint all over me. 5 more people to make that party happen. So that paint day, we'll be doing the 3 projects. And then we'll have swag bags, door prizes, just so much fun with other women when we paint. We just have fun whether we do anything. So come throw some paint around with us. We are looking so forward to it. Here in Sherman, Texas on August the 5th at 9:30, we will have some photo ops and just lots of different things. So we are looking forward to it. So I hope we get 5 more people so that we can make that. Go to my website, youngatheartcreations.com, and click on events and then Paint with Pam. That's where you go to register. Kathy Peters is coming the 5th. Just need to get signed up. Yay, Kathy. I will put your name down. So now we just need 4 more. I had 2 more yesterday, so now we just need 4 more. Kathy's coming. Let me get my little notebook out. Kathy, and I will put your name on there. We'll be doing this. I'm going to teach you how to do this beard. Such an easy thing to do, but it looks very intimidating, I know. And we will be doing this mason jar. So we'll be doing this with the 3D letters on it. So I'll have all that drawn out for you. And just what we did today, the little flowers on there. So you can do that. You saw me do it. You know you can do it. And then we will be doing the large, this is the small one, but we'll be doing the 1-foot one of the little snowman clothespin. Isn't he so cute? So we'll be doing that and just having a great time. So everybody, tell your friends if you can't come, let your friends know about it. And we would just love to meet you and paint with you. It's going to be so much fun. But let's hold this one up again. This is Miss Kathy's. Isn't that cute? And y'all, one of the door prizes will be this. It says Hello Fall. So you will get one. Now the original one comes in orange, but you can paint it like I did this one. You can paint it any color. So that's one of the door prizes. That's just one of them. So you will already have that to go on your pumpkin or whatever you want to put it on. These are great. I mean, they just sit up, they're thick. So they sit up straight by them. I mean, they just sit by themselves on a shelf or wherever you want. So I'll have at least 1 or 2 of those as door prizes. And then lots of little goodies in your swag bags. I'm not going to tell you what's in there yet. You got to have some surprises. All right, ladies, I got to get off here and get busy. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to sprinkle this video out. I appreciate that. Thanks for all the hearts that came through. That just means so much to me. I'm at 1,441 followers now. When I get to 1,500, that means I get to send out, we'll do another drawing for some Happy Mail, and I'll send out some great Happy Mail. Who knows? I may send out one of these things in Happy Mail, that the Hello Fall. All right, can't wait to see you. Thanks a lot, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.